Welcome to Stewart Science. My name is Mr. Stewart. Today we're talking about observations and inferences and why they're helpful when we do science. So first of all, just some basic definitions here. An observation is any information that you gain by using your five senses. A lot of times we think first about what we see, and sight is one of our primary ways to observe. Many of our tools that help us take observations, like microscopes or telescopes or even x-rays, we're creating images to look at to see what's inside something. Those are all ways that we use our sight to help us gather data and gather information. But you could also taste, hear, feel, or smell. Now, some of those are more safe than others to do in the science lab. It's really safe if you're wearing lab goggles to look at something. It's not safe to go licking random chemicals. So I'm not saying go lick random chemicals, but if you did, that would be a valid observation. In fact, there are some minerals that the easiest way to identify them is by licking them. So if you're with a brave geologist out in nature, you might see them occasionally sneak a peek at licking a rock to see if it's halite or not. Not recommending that you do that, but I'm just saying any of the five senses, any information you gather with those five senses counts as an observation. That's different from an inference because an inference is a prediction that you made from those observations and based on past experience. It's what things look like or appear based on the information we've gathered. It's a prediction from the information we've gathered based on our experience. A real simple example here. I saw, that's one piece, a flash of light outside my house. I heard a popping noise. And so those are my observations. The sight was a flash, and the sound was a popping noise. And based on my past experiences, what I know about fireworks and the fact that it's the first week in July, my inference is that it's a firework. Now, it could have been some other thing, could have been aliens, who knows? But it's an inference that it's a firework. The observation is flash of light, sound, that's a popping noise. If I went outside and I smelled something burning, I could add that one to my observations as well. Real simple example there for you. So let me give you another concrete example here. Here's an image. What I want you to do, yes, I'm talking to you right now, go find some paper and pencil, pause the video and write down 3 observations and a couple inferences, as many as you can think. No, I'm serious. You go pause the video, get paper and pencil, and write down observations and inferences. Okay, if you've done that, here are some of the things that I observe. These are observations about the image. There's science on the board, science-y drawings of diagrams of some kind on the board. If you look real close, you can see computer code there on her screen. And an image there that's kind of important. I see computers in the background. Anything you can see about this image, this guy's looking down at his phone, any of those are observations. Maybe you also notice that she's kind of smiling. She's got her hands over her mouth. She looks like really excited. But the fact that she's excited is the next part, which is inference. Now, inference is a guess based on this picture. And so you guess based on the way that she has her hands over her mouth. She's kind of smiling really big on the corners of her mouth. She has like a kind of a twinkle in her eye, if you could say that, I guess. She looks like she's excited. Now, she's excited as an inference. I could just smile and put my hands over my mouth, but I'm just in my basement filming a YouTube video, so I wouldn't say that I'm super excited, but I can look excited. Another inference would be that this guy here in the back is on his phone. He could just be looking at the ground, but usually when people are looking downward like that, they're looking at their phone. A further stretch of an inference would be that he's playing Candy Crush. I don't know that, but it could be. That's an inference. So inference is she's excited, she's a scientist, he's looking at his phone, he's playing Candy Crush. This is actually a picture of a lady named Katie Bauman. She has just put together the first picture of a black hole ever made by a person. She's the first person to ever see an image with her eyes of a real black hole. She worked with lots of different observations around observatories. She works with lots of different big telescopes around the globe, and all synced up their telescopes to take a picture at the right time, and they sent her just hard drives of data. They couldn't even send it through the internet. They had to physically mail her all these hard drives, and she just put them together to make a picture. She's looking at the picture on her computer for the first time. So this is the first time a person has ever seen a black hole. Her name is Katie Bauman. You should look her up. Really cool story. Really humble person. But she made this picture. It's a black hole, and that's why she's excited, because she's the first person to ever see a black hole. So, wrapping up here. Observations are any data you collect with your senses. One of the main ways that we collect data is with things that we see, but you can also feel them if it's safe, taste them if it's safe, smell them if it's safe, or hear them, again, if it's safe. All those are ways that we gather data. So if it's something you hear, smell, taste, touch, or see, that's an observation. Any information that your brain fills in without seeing or hearing or feeling or those other things, that's an inference. So if it's a guess or a prediction made from your past experience, that's an inference. If it's an observation, it's gathered data from your senses. This is Mr. Stewart. As always, keep learning no matter what.